This morning, on this Wednesday morning, we start with our White House correspondent, Emerald Robinson. The executive director of USA Strong, Erin Elmore, is here. Project 21 National Advisory Board member Christopher Arp's back with us, and political analyst Mark Halperin waking up with us on this this Wednesday morning. Good morning to all. Where to begin this morning? I think we'll start with Joe Biden. He made a very pressing appearance yesterday at a local D.C. hardware store. Let's play some of that sound. Then Emerald, will start with you.
Is there a crisis at the border, sir?
And then if I could just...
COVID plus plan. They're trying to sell their other parts of their agenda. And lots of people are pointing to what Barack Obama did and the mistakes some people think he made in not selling hard enough.
I think when it comes to the... Yeah, exactly. When it comes to the president here, Jen Psaki's getting this question every single day. Emerald, you're in that briefing room. If I were the president, if this were Donald Trump, if this were Obama, if this were Bush, Clinton, Bush, Reagan, anybody, if they were down the hall in the Oval Office and they heard this much vitriol from the press, the left-leaning friendly press, at some point you're just going to get out of the desk, walk down the hall and hold a briefing. And Joe Biden is not going to do that. And they are making sure he doesn't do that.
They're definitely making sure of that. And by the way, Joe Biden is as much of an Irishman as the guy is from Me Lucky Charms. Okay, let's be serious. He's an American. So I don't know if we're saying he's Irish, that he now has an Irish accent. I know there's allegations that he has a stutter that we didn't hear about until he started to experience a cognitive decline. But yes, The issue of not having a press conference is very serious because we know he's incapable. We saw President Trump go out and speak to the press often 1, 2, 3 times a day. But Joe Biden can't do that. I think it was a woman by the name of Christy Swanson on Twitter recently said, I can understand Ozzy Osbourne better than I can understand Joe Biden. Of course, that's funny, but it's also true, which is also very sad. He is in such a state of cognitive decline. I really wonder how much longer will the media, how much longer will his inner circle let this go on before someone steps out and says, okay, guys, this is serious. And by the way, someone should say to the doctor, air quotes, and doctor, of course, Joe Biden, you're committing elder abuse, because when you are in a state of cognitive decline, you can get help. There are things you can do to make the rest of your life easier, better, more comfortable. They're not doing that. They're just letting him slip away under the guise of saving the nation.
And I want to make this abundantly clear. There is nobody at this network, nobody on this panel is laughing or poking fun at the president, and none of us are physicians. If he is in the midst of cognitive decline, which can take some time, that's going to take a doctor to diagnose. But look,
but I don't think that we're making fun of it. I mean, yes, we're saying that.
No. I'm not saying you are, Emerald, and Erin, I'm not saying you are either. I just think, Chris, you remember, go back to the 1930s. FDR is president, okay? He's president for 4 terms, and then he dies in office in 1945. I don't have the numbers, but I bet 95% of Americans, maybe more, did not know that he was in a wheelchair at that time because the press covered for him. They covered for JFK. He had Addison's disease. He was often using crutches. The public never saw that. That was the 1960s.
Yeah, and you're just wondering, in this age of social media and everyone having cameras, just how long are they going to be able to hide him away?
Calendar year alone, there have been more than 800 criminal aliens apprehended.
Your reaction to the situation on the southern border, and then we will pick this back up at the top of the hour.
It's very sad, and this is not how immigration was designed to work in the United States of America. I worked with an amazing organization through USA Strong called Numbers USA, and they taught me all about this. There are people waiting in line in places like India who are doctors coming here that want to help our country. You don't just jump ahead of people who want to do this the right way. It is illegal what they are doing. And by the way, we are in the middle of a global pandemic. People are testing for the coronavirus. These people are coming here without masks, without proper vaccinations, with COVID-19. What are we supposed to do? Just take them into our country, put them into our hospitals, and really tax our already difficult system? Moreover, you look at places like California with homeless populations that are skyrocketing. We have American citizens that are struggling. We have a country we're giving away stimulus checks to people that are really hurting. We need to take care of our country, and the America First agenda is nothing other than love of America and helping our country. You cannot come here illegally and expect it to work. That's not how America works, and it's never worked anywhere across the globe.
That's a good point, Erin. We'll pick this up at the top of the hour, Mark. 61-word statement from the Queen. I think it had her hands all over it, and I still am on the side of the royal family when it comes to this. But Piers Morgan, by the way, He was on like the Good Morning of America of Britain.
Good Morning Britain. He
And
quit.
He's not going to be on there today, but their ratings have been huge.
Yep, they had
over
an
the past.
excellent rating day the other day, and he's out of there.
And I bet they will this morning, maybe not tomorrow, but they will today because people are just going to be curious, as they are about us here on Wake Up, Rachel. Thank you. Want to welcome in the panel right now. We start with White House correspondent Emerald Robinson down in D.C. Executive Director of USA Strong, Erin Elmore, is with us. Project 21 National Advisory Board member Christopher Arps back with us in St. Louis. And political analyst Mark Halperin is here as well. Want to give you some numbers. Mark, we'll start with you. I want to talk about the situation on our southern border right now. This is a situation that 50 days ago, this crisis did not exist on our southern border. There were 100,000 illegal crossings last month along our southern border. That is the most in over 15 years. This entire situation, we're almost at 50 days, just totally avoidable.
It was completely avoidable, but instead, Joe Biden let the far leftists control the narrative and build the agenda. And now we have basically a manufactured crisis by Joe Biden that is going to impact every single American citizen for a very long time going forward. Yet the mainstream media will not cover it. Yet the administration will not discuss it. What's next? When are they going to wake up to the realities that they are destroying our country? Do you want sex offenders coming here? Do you want gang members coming here? Do you want COVID-19 patients coming here that are going to be on our taxpayer dime? The answer for every American should be no. Of course, there are ways to do immigration. This is not that way.
Yeah, when the administration took over, Mark, there was this Susan Rice, I think, is attached to this statement, but she said, well, the grown-ups are in charge now. And it's just, it's comments like that upset people. And today is the day that Texas officially gets rid of the mask mandate. All businesses will be reopening in Texas. The state last night at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, I agree. I would rather be Gavin Newsom as well. I mean, at least he's eating well over the French Laundry. By the way, a lot of my friends now that aren't real foodies are like, what is this French Laundry? He's really put it on the map even more. But yeah, having said that, I think I would definitely rather be Gavin Newsom. Poor Andrew Cuomo. Poor Andrew Cuomo. He's really has a tough road ahead. But as to Andrew Cuomo, by the way, this nursing home scandal is an even bigger scandal than the Me Too issues. Although they are very important, I think we still need to focus on what he's done to the elderly in the state of New York and not let all of these allegations of sexual misconduct just be the only issue that he is attacked for.
One thing that I've noticed that, the excuse that Andrew Cuomo gave for his actions was, if customs have changed, I'm a touchy-feely guy.
Executive Director of USA Strong, Erin Elmore, back with us. Happy hump day to you. Project 21 National Advisory Board member Christopher Arps is here, and political analyst Mark Halperin. Chris, I want to start with you quickly. Your background, it changes every time we have you on. You are in St. Louis. I know that because I've been on your show out there. But is that like how do you do that? Is that like a screen?
That's the wonders of green screen.
There's a crisis at the border, sir.
And then if I could just...
That he has a lisp, and that is Joe Biden. If you actually look into this story, it was more than, he's 78 years old. So this is like 72 years ago. That's when he beat his lisp. And if you look at Joe Biden, the senator, he was somebody that would, think about the Clarence Thomas hearings. He's sitting up there next to Ted Kennedy, and he went on and on and on. And this was a very powerful voice in the Senate. There was never evidence of any lisp. And that excuse just rings hollow to me every time I hear it now.
I also thought it was a stutter. So I'm sure they're really grasping at straws here.
No, you're right. It was a stutter. It was a stutter.
Another barometer for his behavior, if you will, is look at his presidential debate, I believe in debates in 2008. If you look at that man, compare with the man that we see today, and you can say that they are the same person, we have nothing further to discuss. Because he is not the same person. He is definitely cognitively slower and different. There's a certain look in his eyes now that is sort of vapid and vacant and empty that he didn't have in 2008. Listen, no one has ever said he's a brilliant man, but he was a very decent orator, okay? He could talk. He could make cogent points. Now he looks like he's confused and doesn't know which camera to look at. He doesn't know what he's doing. He even said that in Texas. What am I doing here? He doesn't know where to put his pen in his jacket and mutters. This is scary. And honestly, I just wish that maybe someone within the White House, someone in the inner circle would come out and say, okay, listen, we can't do this to our country anymore. This isn't right, because what's going on isn't right. No, I am not a doctor. No, I am not diagnosing him. But just as a lay person who is watching and has been watching for, I don't know, 20 years, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Well, and
Emerald,
to
go
Erin's
ahead.
Point, other countries are watching.
Goodness. All right, I want to welcome back in our panel. We start with our White House correspondent, Emerald Robinson. Executive Director of USA Strong, Erin Elmore, is here. Project
Champion Major, the President and First Lady's dogs, members of the family, are still getting acclimated.
That we are spending time actually talking about these dogs is crazy, and not the fact that our president is about 48 days now without a press conference. This is what she should be focusing on. If I were Jen Psaki, I would talk about dogs all day long, because she knows that her boss is incapable of holding a press conference. So you know what? Jen Psaki's playing one of those little shell games, a bit of deflection away from the real issue.
Yeah,
so go ahead, Jen Psaki. Let me play your bad self and keep on dodging.
Joe Biden was at a hardware store in the D.C. Metro yesterday. They have to get him out there for the photo op, if at least for that. There were members of the press with him. I want you to just focus on the president here. He's at a hardware store. Somebody asked him a very simple question about the situation on the southern border, and he just looks completely incapable of answering the question. But I'll let you be the judge. Take a look.
Is there a crisis at the border, sir?
The president is suffering from obvious mental decline. They hit him away.
Had done 2 Reddit Ask Me Anythings, so he at least had made himself available in that way. Democrats, the media, as well as people who are critics of Joe Biden, should wonder why he's not talking more. Should look at that video and ask the questions, which is he ready to do this job?